Welcome friends to my YouTube channel. Now in my YouTube channel I am teaching the topic classical mechanics, and I am almost in a situation to complete the syllabus of classical mechanics. Okay. Now all you know that I am teaching the chapter collision. Now somebody told me to few questions that I should give answer. In this video I shall going to give these answers. Okay. Now the first question that arises: what is the difference between linear momentum and angular momentum? Okay. The first question: what is the similarity or dissimilarity between linear momentum and angular momentum? That was asked. Okay. Now first thing is that linear momentum and angular momentum, there is a similarity between these two, that both are vector quantities, that is have direction as well as magnitude. And also there are few dissimilarities. Okay. You all know that linear momentum involves the translational motion or linear motion. Okay. But angular momentum involves rotational motion. Okay. Torque acting on the system. Okay. Linear momentum involves the linear motion, and the angular momentum involves rotational motion. Okay. And another important difference is that you all know that homogeneity of space leads to the conservation of linear momentum. Okay. And isotropy of space leads to the conservation of angular momentum. This is the second difference. Okay. So the similarity is that both are vector quantity, and the first difference is that linear momentum involves linear motion, whereas angular momentum involves translational motion. And the second difference is that homogeneity of space leads to the conservation of linear momentum. What is homogeneity? That is each point in the space is equivalent to all other points. That is called homogeneity. And on the other hand, the isotropy of space leads to the conservation of angular momentum. Isotropy means each direction is equivalent to all other directions. Okay. So these two are the differences. So I tell one similarity and two other dissimilarities. Okay. Now the second question that somebody asked few days ago, that I am teaching the chapter collision, that he asked what is the difference between elastic and inelastic collision. That I told while introducing the chapter. Okay. Here we can also find similarity and dissimilarities. The common similarity is that whether the collision is elastic or inelastic, in both type of collisions the law of conservation of linear momentum holds good. That means we can apply the law of conservation of linear momentum in both collisions. This is the similarity. And there are few dissimilarities. Okay. The first dissimilarity is that in case of a elastic collision, kinetic energy remains conserved. Okay. That means initial kinetic energy of the system is equal to final kinetic energy. But in case of a inelastic collision, the law of conservation of energy does not hold good. That means kinetic energy is not conserved. Okay. There is a loss of energy. The second difference is that in case of a perfectly elastic collision, the coefficient of restitution is 1, and in case of a perfectly inelastic collision, the coefficient of restitution is 0. Okay. Now another difference we can conclude, that what happens in a perfectly elastic collision. So if it is a one-dimensional collision, then the target and the striker moves along same direction. Then we can call it perfectly one-dimensional perfectly elastic collision. Okay, but if it happens that the target and the striker moves along two different directions, then it is called two-dimensional elastic collision. Two-dimensional elastic collision. If both moves along same direction, it is 1D, and if target and the striker moves along different direction, it is called 2D. But in case of a perfectly inelastic collision, what happens you all know, the two bodies combined to form a single object, and that single object moves with a common velocity. Okay, that single object moves with a common velocity. So these are the basic similarities and dissimilarities between perfectly elastic and perfectly inelastic collision. Okay, now dear guys, I always told that if you have any query or problem, then just write it in comment section. I will be ready to give the answers. Okay, so I will be very happy if you ask more and more questions. Okay, and one thing is for sure that I I must have to tell that you must have to do the numericals related to every chapter in order to grow your concept. Okay, because in order to grow the concept, it is necessary to do the numericals of all the chapters. Okay, so just remember it. Okay, so this video is up to this. So I will discuss few other things, okay, in my next video. Okay, thank you.